In the 80s, the Kyowa-kai Society has always existed here in the community. It was here during the internment.
Okay.
It was the society made up of the Japanese Canadians. It was like social clubs or clubs that anybody has. And it was probably to help people, like my mother probably didn't understand English. So she had a question, she would come to the society and say, you know, I have a problem. And they would work with them. And it was a social thing. Parties, come watch movies, do a lot of things. And the Kyowa-kai Society has existed all along. It is today. Unfortunately, the membership is very, very low. But in 1982 or so, I was asked to join the Kyowa-kai Society. I lived in the community all the time. One of the ladies, the elder ladies in the community, asked me to join because said, you know, our membership is very declining, and we need some younger people. I thought by then, you know, I can spend a little bit of time with them. So I went to the first meeting. First meeting, they all looked at me, and this lady said to me, oh, we got this young man now in the club, and he's going to be the new president. And I thought, oh, I come to the meeting to be a member. Oh, she said, you're a young man now, and we're getting old now, so, you know. So I accepted. 25 years later or so, I was still the president. Anyways, it was good. At that time, it was not an active society. So in 1988, I believe is when the federal government, under Prime Minister Mulroney, Brian Mulroney, at that time they gave an official acknowledgement of a wrongdoing. And at that time there was a fund set aside, but I forgot exactly how many million, and to be administered by the Redress Foundation. And that was funds set aside for projects across Canada to build seniors' homes, museums, plaques in different communities, anything that some of these communities had connections to the internment and so wished to do something. And the building was starting to fall in. So this lady, a very nice lady that asked me to join the society, said, we should try and do something with that building. It needs repair. And the funds were available because, you know, like you need money. So this started the wheels in motion. And at that time we had a fair large society with people quite concerned about what was happening, about all what was left. You know, everybody, I guess, at the same time didn't want memories of this too, we understand. You know, some moved on. Yeah. Some moved on. This was where they came, this is where they had to be, but they moved on. But anyways, a majority thought it was, you know, probably a majority thought it was a good idea to preserve some of the history, show the people what really happened, and educate them. So anyways, we applied for, well, we were going to apply for funding, and this was where we were going to start on. Because the Buddha Shrine, getting back to it, the BC government were quite interested in moving the shrine to Victoria to a museum. Because they knew it was here, because I don't know, through the some government agencies. And the lady said, no, no, it belongs in New Denver, not in Victoria in the museum. This is New Denver, because it was made by a Buddhist fella from Lemon Creek. He was quite a Buddhist, and he handmade all this with basic tools, basic what he had, and it's still used. So she said, no, no, it should stay here, which was fine. But she said, we'll try and fix the hall. So we applied to the Redress Foundation. I remember going before the board in Vancouver. There was, a board was made up, I believe, about 10 directors all across Canada. And they were going to decide on where the money was going to go. So home we came, hired a fellow architect and to design what we wanted. We got a model maker to make a model locally. And we had this big model made, and next meeting I went back to, well, we forwarded our document. I said, oh, it looks very interesting, looks very good. Basically, we all favor it in principle. And the shocking part is, I guess, what happened to their assets. You know, to me, I guess today it's the War Measure Act. I'm not sure how it reads, but I understand it's pretty much as it was then. The government has the authority. And I think maybe at times the government has certain things they want to do and they can do. But that was one thing that was in force then. It still is today. Whether it happened today again, it's not the same. So just getting back to it, what we have here is something to show what happened. We hope it doesn't happen again. It's not to show the bad, it's to show how it was. This is the way it was. And people can see and make their own judgment on what it is.